that is something important to know because like for someone like myself, which I feel like
Hmm.
I'm okay with the rest of it, it's just that first part. So for those who are listening and watching, if you're like, hey, I could do the dating thing, it's just getting myself out there and getting the quality dates. That is where you would be
Yeah.
able to help them.
Right. And I do have a tactic of how to get off the app faster and to just weed out people a lot faster too. You know, if someone's just there because they want a pen pal, that's great. But if you put that in your profile, that's really disingenuous. And like, it's almost like you're turning me off before we've even had a conversation. Like, don't at me if you're this type of person, you know, like,
Hmm.
well, maybe I am that type of person in this moment, but there's something about you that's really sweet and endearing that's making me think that I actually want to talk to you, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that all makes sense. Okay, so what about COVID? Is that impacting
Oh, here we
dating?
go.
What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, COVID. So again, I have a little bit of a different, people either really like my approach or they don't agree with it at all. So I'm going to preface with if this bothers you, that's your fault, not mine. Okay.
Give it to me, Lisa.
Okay, so my idea is that, and I don't know what kind of cards you're dealing with, right? Like if you've been through a lot of trauma in the last year, yeah, dating's going to be really hard for you. And that's okay, right? That doesn't mean that you don't date. It's just that you do it a little bit differently than you would before COVID.
Hmm.
But my mindset is that COVID is the perfect time to find someone. Dating culture before COVID was a complete mess. Saying it nicely because there may be some younger viewers. It's a mess. Modern dating culture has made us feel very disposable. And it's made us feel like, it's very impersonal. Women don't have control. The fuck boys can just, have a rotation of women coming through their door. Women can do this too, but it's not as common. And that setup was completely, like, it was just flattened. It was obliterated because of COVID. And not a lot of people see it that way because we're all focused on like, oh my God, it's so hard because you have to do this and you have to do that. And like, it's just so much work now. And I'm like, isn't every girl I know has been saying like, I just wish he would make an effort. And now you get a guy that's willing to make an effort and you're pissed off about it. Like, you have to realize, all the girls listening right now, you have the upper hand again. So stop bitching. You have to stop bitching. You have the upper hand and you have legitimate reasons now, and for men too, but I think this happens more so for women. But you have the upper hand. You get to control where you want to go. You get to call the shots on how quickly you want to move. You get to have much more open dialogue and honest conversations, and you can ask much more important questions about your health and use that as legitimate reasons in how you interact with people, because it is a great concern. We all are trying to flatten the curve. We don't want to get sick, but yet at the same time, like, there's no more noise.
Hmm.
There's and I tell this to people all the time. You want to be with that guy or that girl that's a jet setter, the person that's on a plane, the person that's traveling, the person that's, making rebounds and big moves in their career. What are you doing? Your ass is at home. You're not traveling. You're not doing shit except working on your own little house projects, reading some good books. Like, now is the perfect time to get to know someone on a personal level and actually spend quality time together. And that makes people really, really uncomfortable. Really
I agree.
uncomfortable
I agree.
because we're so out of touch
Hmm.
from that process. And you would know because you're not 21, right? Like, you and I have a
Hmm.
little bit of years behind this where we were behind the dating app culture, where we know what it's like whenever a guy calls you up and you say,